Alex had always thought life in college would be ordinary. Long lectures, late-night study sessions, and the usual group projects filled his mind. But nothing in his wildest imagination had prepared him for the day he was assigned a roommate from another planet. Lyra arrived with a soft glow around her, a subtle shimmer in her skin that shifted color with every movement. She had a quiet grace, moving like water through the dorm hallway. Humans whispered and stared, some out of curiosity, others out of fear. Alex, however, only felt a mix of awe and nervous excitement. From the very first night, Lyra had insisted on the bed near the window. "It feels better," she had said simply, her voice soft but firm. She didn't explain why, and Alex had not wanted to press. After all, who was he to question an alien's comfort? Still, he noticed odd patterns. Lyra would leave the room late at night, sometimes hours after Alex had fallen asleep. She moved silently, but her skin glowed faintly, hinting at some hidden emotion. When she returned, she seemed exhausted, her glow dim and uneven. Alex wondered if she was ill or if her species simply had strange sleeping habits. Over the next week, their lives began to intersect more than he expected. They had meals together in silence, studied side by side, and even laughed quietly about small human quirks that puzzled her. Yet, Alex noticed the way she insisted on the bed every night. He tried to offer his own bed, suggesting she try it, but Lyra always shook her head. "It's fine," she said, her voice calm. "This one is more comfortable." Alex didn't argue, but curiosity gnawed at him. He began observing more carefully. When she left the bed at night, he sometimes followed discreetly, keeping a safe distance. He saw her pause in empty corridors, touching walls as if testing them, then moving on. Sometimes she stood in the small gravity lift, closing her eyes and exhaling deeply, as though recovering from some invisible weight. One evening, after a long day of lectures and lab work, Alex returned to the dorm to find Lyra asleep on her bed, curled in a way that looked painfully tense. Her glow flickered like a dying candle. Hesitating, Alex approached and whispered, "Lyra, are you okay?" She stirred, her eyes opening slowly. They shone with a soft violet hue. "I'm fine," she said, but her voice lacked conviction. Alex wanted to push further, but he remembered the lessons in empathy his parents had always taught him. Instead, he sat quietly at the edge of the bed. "If you ever need help, I'm here," he said softly. Lyra's glow shifted to a soft blue, a color Alex had begun to associate with trust. She nodded, not speaking further. That night, he stayed awake longer than usual, thinking. He had to understand what was happening. Over the following days, Alex tried gentle observation without intrusion. He learned to read her subtle cues, the way her skin shimmered when she was anxious, the faint tremor when she was tired, the way her lips pressed together when she was in discomfort. One afternoon, while she was out of the room, he noticed small objects she had left behind, tiny devices that hummed faintly, recording environmental data. Alex realized they might be monitoring something critical for her species, something he didn't yet understand. Despite the mystery, Alex admired her resilience. She attended lectures, interacted politely with humans, and never complained. Yet he could see the cost. Her body seemed to struggle silently against forces he could not comprehend. Then came the night that changed everything. Alex returned late, carrying his backpack full of books. The dorm was quiet, the hallway bathed in soft neon light. He opened their room door and froze. Lyra was on the bed, curled tightly, her glow uneven, pulsing in rapid, irregular patterns. "Lyra," he whispered, stepping closer. Her body shook slightly, a quiet tremor that made his stomach knot. "I'm okay," she murmured, but Alex could tell she was. For the first time, he sat beside her and reached out gently. "You don't have to hide it," he said. "If something hurts, you can tell me." Lyra's eyes filled with a flicker of surprise. She didn't speak immediately. Then slowly she whispered, "It's different for me. The bed, it helps." Alex tilted his head, confused. "Helps how?" She paused, then gestured to her shimmering skin. "My body, my kind, we have conditions humans cannot feel. Rest, gravity, warmth. This bed mimics what I need." Understanding began to dawn on him. It wasn't stubbornness. It wasn't a quirk. It was survival. The bed wasn't just a place to sleep. It was a safe zone where Lyra could recover her strength without her body rebelling against her. "I see," Alex said softly, a mix of relief and concern flooding him. He wanted to do more than just understand. He wanted to help. From that night onward, Alex observed more closely, but also began to act subtly. He adjusted the room temperature, softened the sheets, even experimented with the lighting to match the gentle cycles he thought might ease her body's stress. Lyra noticed but didn't comment. Her trust was growing quietly. One evening, as they studied together, Lyra looked up and smiled faintly. "Thank you," she said, her glow softening to a serene green. Alex realized it was the first time he had seen her completely relaxed, the tension in her body gone. Days turned into weeks, and the strange pattern continued. Lyra insisted on the bed, but now Alex knew why. He began to admire her strength even more. She was adapting to an alien world, dealing with discomfort he could barely imagine, yet still participating fully in human life. Yet, a lingering worry remained. What if something went wrong? What if her body could no longer cope? The thought made him restless at night, but he also felt a spark of hope. Human ingenuity, empathy, and determination could make a difference. He was determined to learn more, to find ways to help her thrive in this unfamiliar environment. One quiet night, Alex sat on the edge of the bed, reading a book while Lyra rested. Her glow shifted between blue and green, a silent rhythm he had come to recognize. He realized something profound. Despite the vast differences between them, there was a connection forming, a silent understanding that crossed species, a bond of trust and compassion. "Humans are resilient," Lyra said suddenly, her voice soft but thoughtful. "I think I can adapt here because of you." Alex smiled, feeling a warmth in his chest. "We humans like to solve problems," he said simply, "and I think we're good at caring too." For the first time, Lyra's laughter echoed softly through the room, a delicate sound, like wind chimes stirred by a gentle breeze. Alex realized that he had not only witnessed something extraordinary, but had also become part of it. Their shared nights, the quiet understanding, and the small acts of care were slowly weaving a story of friendship, trust, and human determination. Outside, the stars stretched endlessly across the sky, indifferent to the struggles of one alien and one human. Yet inside the dorm room, a small miracle was unfolding, a story of resilience, empathy, and the quiet power of human ingenuity. Alex knew that the weeks ahead would bring challenges, that Lyra's struggles were far from over. But he also knew that he would be there, learning, helping, and proving that even across the vast gulf of space, humans could rise to meet the unknown with courage, kindness, and intelligence. As he turned off the light and settled in his own bed, Alex felt a sense of purpose he had never known before. Lyra's hidden pain was a puzzle, but it was also an opportunity, a chance to show that humanity's greatest strength was not in weapons or technology, but in understanding, compassion, and the determination to help others thrive. And somewhere in the quiet rhythm of their shared dorm, both human and alien began to sleep, connected by trust, courage, and the silent promise of a friendship that would face whatever the universe could throw at them. Days passed, and Alex could not stop thinking about Lyra. The more he observed, the more he realized how fragile her health seemed, despite the way she moved through the world with quiet grace. Every shimmer of her skin, every subtle tremor, hinted at a struggle he could barely understand. One morning, Alex found her standing by the window, staring out at the campus with a distant look. Her glow was soft, pale blue, almost like she was tired beyond measure. "Lyra," Alex said gently, approaching her. "You've been leaving the room at night. I want to help." "Please let me." Lyra turned slowly, her eyes reflecting a faint violet hue. "It is complicated," she said softly. "My body does not handle normal human gravity and temperature well. I can survive, but it is painful." Alex's heart tightened. He had suspected something, but hearing her admit it was different. "Painful? Like, can I do something to make it better?" She hesitated, then nodded slightly. "I do not wish to worry you, but yes, there are ways. Small changes, small support, it helps." Over the next week, Alex began researching Viralian biology as best he could. There were few references in human libraries, but he used what he knew about physics, biology, and human ingenuity. He experimented with the dorm room environment, adjusting temperature, softening blankets, creating gentle vibrations that mimicked her home planet's atmosphere. Lyra watched him work silently, her skin flickering from green to violet to blue. One night, she finally spoke. "You are very determined," she said. "I did not expect a human to try so hard." Alex shrugged. "Humans like challenges, and I don't like seeing friends in pain." For the first time, a real smile crossed Lyra's face. It was brief but genuine, lighting her features with warmth. Alex felt a surge of satisfaction. His efforts were helping, and he could see it in the way she moved, relaxed, and even laughed sometimes. Then came the day when he realized the full extent of her struggle. It was during a lab experiment for their interspecies studies class. The gravity simulator they were testing malfunctioned briefly, shaking the room. Lyra immediately stiffened, her glow turning a sharp red, signaling distress Alex had learned to recognize. "Lyra!" he shouted, rushing to her side. She stumbled slightly, her limbs trembling as though the small disturbance had hurt her deeply. Alex instinctively steadied her, wrapping his arms around her in a careful, supportive hold. "It's okay," he whispered. "I've got you, you're safe." Her eyes met his, wide with fear and relief. "Thank you for understanding," she murmured, leaning against him as her glow slowly shifted to a calming green. Alex realized this was more than physical support. She needed reassurance, someone to guide her through the unfamiliar stresses of human life. That night, as they sat together on the bed, Alex asked, "Can you tell me what it feels like? Maybe I can help more if I understand." Lyra hesitated, but then she spoke softly. "On Violia, the air, the gravity, the warmth, it is perfect for us. Here, even small differences make my body ache. Sleep is shallow, movements strain muscles I never knew I had. Only when I am in the right environment, my home environment, can I truly rest." Alex nodded slowly. "So the bed isn't just comfort, it's survival." She gave a faint nod. "Yes, I tried to hide it to appear normal, but it is not easy." From that moment, Alex became more determined than ever. He started experimenting with small devices he had seen in her room. Using human tools, he crafted a makeshift environment replicating Violian conditions. A temperature-controlled layer beneath the mattress, subtle hums to mimic their planet's vibration, and soft lighting that shifted gently, like Lyra's home sky. Lyra was cautious at first. She tested it quietly, lying down and closing her eyes. For hours, she remained still, her glow soft and steady for the first time Alex had ever seen outside her planet. You did this," she whispered, almost in disbelief. "I tried," Alex said simply. "I want to make it easier for you. I can't change everything, but maybe this helps." Her glow shifted to a vibrant green, a color Alex had come to associate with comfort and trust. "It does, thank you." With that, their friendship deepened. Lyra began sharing small details about her life on Violia: floating cities, light-filled oceans, and plants that sang when touched. She even taught Alex how to recognize subtle changes in skin color that indicated mood or stress. In return, Alex shared human stories, jokes, and meals. They created a rhythm of life together, blending human and alien habits. Yet the world outside the dorm remained unpredictable. One afternoon, the campus received a warning: a temporary malfunction in the gravity system of the student halls. All students were instructed to stay inside until the issue was resolved. Alex immediately thought of Lyra. He checked the dorm room and she was already lying on the bed, her glow flickering nervously. "It's happening," she murmured. He held her hand. "We'll get through this. I'll protect you." As the gravity fluctuations began, Lyra's body trembled and her glow became a bright, alarming red. Alex acted quickly. He adjusted the devices under the mattress, increased the vibration dampeners, and created a barrier using blankets and furniture to stabilize her small space. Lyra's breathing gradually steadied, her glow shifting back to green as the human ingenuity he had applied began to work. Alex breathed a sigh of relief. "See, you're safe," he said. For the first time, Lyra hugged him. "You really care," she said softly. Alex felt warmth spread through him. This was beyond friendship. It was trust, admiration, and mutual respect. Humans had helped her survive where her own body had struggled. After the incident, Lyra spent more time in the room, sharing stories and teaching Alex about her species' needs. She explained how Violians often relied on each other for support, and how isolation could worsen their condition. Alex realized that his human problem-solving skills, empathy, and determination were exactly what she had needed. Together, they experimented with ways to make life easier for her in the dorm. They created small routines: stretches to reduce strain, short walks to adapt to human gravity, and meditation techniques to calm her body and mind. Each success was celebrated quietly, their shared victories strengthening their bond. But Alex knew the challenges were far from over. He began thinking about ways to help Lyra beyond the dorm, adjusting her room, coordinating with professors to reduce strain during classes, and even designing portable devices she could use anywhere on campus. One evening, as they sat by the window, Lyra's glow softly flickering between blue and green, she spoke. "I did not expect humans to care so much. Your species is stronger than I imagined." Alex smiled. "Humans like to help. We see a problem, we try to fix it. And you've shown me that even the toughest challenges can be met if we don't give up." Lyra's eyes reflected the stars outside. "I trust you. You make it possible to live here, to adapt." Alex felt a surge of pride and determination. He had helped her survive and adapt in a world alien to her. And he realized that humanity's strength was not just technology or knowledge, but empathy, courage, and the drive to make life better for others. That night, as Lyra rested peacefully, Alex sat on the edge of the bed, thinking about the future. He had learned so much already about Viralian biology, patience, and the importance of observation. But he knew the next challenges would be even greater. The universe was vast and unpredictable, and Lyra's needs would sometimes go beyond what he could handle alone. Still, he felt ready. Human ingenuity, care, and resilience were his tools. And he had learned that even small actions, a blanket, a device, a gentle word, could make a huge difference. As the stars outside twinkled endlessly, Alex realized something profound. Humanity could face the unknown not with fear, but with courage and heart. And in helping Lyra, he had discovered the truest form of strength, the willingness to care, to act, and to trust in the power of connection. He leaned back, watching Lyra sleep, her glow soft and steady. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, new lessons, and perhaps new dangers. But Alex knew one thing for certain. Together, human and alien could face anything. The weeks after the gravity incident passed slowly but steadily. Alex and Lyra had established a careful routine. Lyra rested when necessary, and Alex adjusted the environment to support her health. Their friendship had grown, founded on trust, care, and small acts of human ingenuity that made her life on Earth possible. One morning, Alex awoke to a soft, urgent glow from Lyra's side of the room. Her shimmering skin pulsed a bright red, signaling distress. Alex jumped out of bed. "Lyra, what's wrong?" Lyra struggled to speak, her voice faint. "The dorm system's unstable," Alex's mind raced. The dorm's main gravity regulators had been repaired after the last incident, but reports of glitches had been coming from nearby campuses. If the systems failed again, it could severely affect Lyra's health. "Don't worry," Alex said firmly, gripping her hand. "We'll fix this. I won't let anything happen to you." Lyra's glow flickered, a mixture of fear and trust. She nodded weakly. Alex took a deep breath and ran to the control panel at the end of the room. Using his knowledge from classes and what he had observed about Lyra's needs, he began to stabilize the environment manually. The first few minutes were tense. The gravity regulators began fluctuating wildly, and small tremors shook the room. Lyra whimpered softly, curling into a protective position on the bed. Her glow shifted violently from red to violet, signaling extreme pain. Alex knew he had to act quickly. He grabbed a set of emergency devices Lyra had once used and placed them around the bed, creating a makeshift stabilization field. Using a combination of human tools and his understanding of Viralian physiology, he adjusted the vibrations, temperature, and pressure in the room. "Hang on, Lyra," he whispered. "I've got this, you just focus on staying calm." For a moment, nothing seemed to work. The tremors shook the bed, and Lyra's glow flashed red in sharp, alarming bursts, but Alex refused to give up. He remembered everything he had learned from her, how her species responded to warmth, vibrations, and light. He recalibrated the devices, using small, precise adjustments, and slowly, the room began to stabilize. Lyra's breathing gradually evened out. Her red glow softened to a deep orange, then to calming green. Alex felt a surge of relief. He leaned back against the wall, exhausted but triumphant. "You did it," Lyra said softly, her eyes reflecting both gratitude and amazement. "You saved me." Alex shook his head. "No, we did it. We worked together." Lyra's glow brightened, shifting through shades of blue and green as she finally relaxed. For the first time since arriving on Earth, she felt fully secure in her environment. Alex watched her closely, making minor adjustments to ensure her comfort remained stable. Over the next few days, campus authorities inspected the dorm systems. Alex carefully explained how he had created temporary stabilizers to protect Lyra, without revealing the full extent of her medical condition. Impressed by his quick thinking, The officials praised his ingenuity. They suggested improvements to the dorm infrastructure inspired by Alex's design. Lyra observed quietly, her glow soft and steady. She had never imagined that a human could so completely understand and adapt to the needs of her species. "Humans are extraordinary," she said one night as they reviewed her comfort setup together. Alex smiled. "We try, and we learn, and we help." The event had strengthened not only their friendship but also Lyra's confidence. She began participating more actively in classes, volunteering for experiments, and even helping other students understand Viralian physiology. She shared small, safe demonstrations of her species' unique biology, allowing humans to learn from her experience. Alex watched her with pride. He realized that humanity's true strength was not only in solving problems, but in building bridges of understanding across species. Lyra had taught him patience, observation, and empathy. He had taught her how to survive and adapt in a human world. Together, they had created something extraordinary. One afternoon, a campus-wide simulation exercise tested emergency systems. The gravity regulators were intentionally adjusted to create controlled fluctuations, meant to challenge students' problem-solving skills. Alex immediately thought of Lyra. He guided her to her bed setup, explaining the exercise carefully. When the simulation began, Lyra's body reacted instinctively. Her glow flickered nervously, and she gripped Alex's hand. "I'm scared," she admitted. "You've got this," Alex said firmly. "I'll be right here with you." As the gravity fluctuations started, Alex quickly adjusted the devices they had perfected together. He made precise changes, dampening the tremors and regulating the temperature. Lyra focused on her breathing, following techniques Alex had taught her. Slowly, she adapted, her glow shifting from anxious red to calm green. The simulation ended without incident. Campus officials were astonished. Alex's quick thinking and Lyra's adaptation skills had made what could have been a dangerous situation completely safe. They praised both students, highlighting the cooperation between human ingenuity and alien resilience. Afterward, Lyra hugged Alex tightly. "I could not have done this without you," she said. "You taught me humans can solve any problem." Alex chuckled. "And you taught me that courage isn't just human, it comes from caring, learning, and never giving up." Their shared victories continued over the following weeks. They refined her dorm setup, improving efficiency and comfort. Lyra began participating in more campus activities, using her experiences to educate and inspire other students. Alex realized that their work together had created a model for interspecies cooperation, demonstrating the power of understanding and innovation. One evening, as they sat watching the stars from the window, Lyra spoke softly. "You have changed my life, Alex. I thought I could only survive here, but now I can live fully." Alex smiled, feeling a warmth in his chest. "You've always been strong, Lyra. I just helped you adapt." Her glow brightened, reflecting her joy and trust. "You have shown me that humans are capable of incredible things. Not only machines or tools, but hearts, minds, and courage. You make survival possible, even beautiful." Alex realized that in helping Lyra, he had learned an important truth. The human spirit shines brightest in the face of challenges, especially when combined with compassion, empathy, and determination. Technology alone could not solve her problems. It required understanding, care, and creative thinking. Their friendship became the talk of the dorm, inspiring other students. Humans and aliens alike began sharing experiences, learning from each other, and applying their unique strengths to solve problems collaboratively. Alex and Lyra's partnership had sparked something bigger than themselves, a model for what the future could hold when species worked together with respect and ingenuity. Then came the final challenge. A sudden power surge affected the dorm's gravity regulators, threatening to disrupt the environment they had carefully perfected for Lyra. The tremors began violently, and alarms sounded throughout the building. Students evacuated in panic, but Alex stayed, knowing Lyra needed him. "Lyra, stay here," he shouted, reaching her side. Her glow flashed red with fear and pain. Alex acted quickly, recalling every adjustment they had made before. He manipulated the devices, stabilizing the vibrations and regulating temperature. Lyra followed his instructions, holding herself steady and breathing deeply. Together, they turned a potentially dangerous disaster into a manageable problem. Minutes later, the power surge ended and the dorm systems returned to normal. Lyra's glow returned to a peaceful green. She looked at Alex, awe and gratitude shining in her eyes. "You saved me again," she whispered. Alex shook his head. "We saved each other," he replied. "Your strength and human ingenuity made it possible." From that moment on, their bond became unbreakable. They had faced the most serious threat to Lyra's health and survived together. Alex realized that human resilience and creativity were more than tools, they were lifelines. And Lyra understood that survival in a strange world could be made possible by trust, friendship, and collaboration. In the months that followed, they continued to refine her environment, study interspecies cooperation, and help others adapt. Alex often reflected on how far they had come, from the first nights of hidden pain to mastering survival together. They had created a safe haven not only for Lyra, but for understanding between species. One quiet night, as they lay side by side in the perfectly adjusted bed, Lyra's glow shifted between blue and green. "I never thought life could be like this on Earth," she said softly. "But now it is beautiful." Alex smiled, feeling the warmth of accomplishment and friendship. "That's the human way," he replied. "We solve problems, help friends, and never give up, and we make life better for those who need it." The stars outside twinkled endlessly, a silent witness to the triumph of courage, ingenuity, and trust. Alex realized that this was just the beginning. Together, human and alien could face any challenge, adapt to any environment, and turn obstacles into opportunities. And somewhere in the quiet glow of the dorm room, Lyra slept peacefully, safe and strong, a testament to the power of human determination, compassion, and the simple act of refusing to give up.